Are you ready for a new adventure? Time to travel back in time, let's go! Are you ready for a new adventure? Let's learn about the past with Anna and Leo.
Hi friends! Welcome to Unlock This, a podcast from Honest History, where we join our friends Anna, Leo, and Percy on adventures through time and uncover some really cool stories along the way. My name is William. I'm 6 years old, and I love learning about history, especially new stories that I don't hear about in school. I can't wait for today's story, and I think you're gonna love it too. So let's dive in.
Hey, Leo, are you ready for our next adventure?
Oh, I can't wait, Anna. I've been dreaming about it for the past 2 weeks.
Me too. There are so many things inside the museum's vault. It's going to be hard to decide what we want to see today.
One of our friends may help us with that. He's going to meet us at the museum. Oh, look, there he is.
Oh, I see him, standing by the entrance. It's our friend Sunny.
Anna! Leo!
Sonny, you made it.
I arrived exactly 1650 hours, like you said.
1650 hours. Is that military time?
It is. I find it is more efficient.
Sonny knows all about military history.
Well, history is full of battles. I'm sure there's plenty of things inside the museum for you to explore.
Yeah. Sonny, is there a battle you want to learn about today?
There is, and I'm hoping there's something about it inside the vault.
Well, if there is, Percy will find it. Percy, meet our friend Sunny. Sunny, this is Percy.
It's nice to meet you, Percy.
Percy can get us into the vault, but we have to be very quiet. We don't want the guards to hear us.
A mouse will help us get in? How?
Well, Percy will get the keys to unlock the door. He's very sneaky. Thanks, Percy. Sunny, welcome to the museum vault.
Oh, wow. This is amazing.
I know, isn't it? See all those cabinets and shelves? They're filled with thousands of objects from history.
Hey, Sunny, what battle did you want to learn about?
It took place in Australia in 1932, and it is one of the strangest wars in history.
It looks like Percy already knows which war you're talking about. Let's follow him.
I think he wants us to open the drawer.
May I proceed?
Go for it.
What's inside?
It appears to be a feather?
Not just any feather. It's an emu feather.
Anna knows a lot about animals.
I'm going to be a zoologist when I grow up.
I don't mean to interrupt, but my head feels a bit strange. Are you dizzy too?
It's working.
Hold tight, Sunny. It'll be over soon.
What just happened?
We traveled.
Now the question is, where? I don't see any buildings or people. It looks like we're in the middle of a field. Let me get my compass.
Compass?
After our last adventure, I thought we should come prepared. A compass will help us if we get lost. It will tell us which way is north or south.
I like your thinking. It's important to be prepared.
That's odd.
What's wrong?
My compass is showing me which way is north. At home, when I face north, the sun is behind me. But here, the sun is slightly in front of me.
Interesting. So the sun is in the opposite direction here.
What do you think it means?
Does that mean that we're on the opposite side of the world?
You may be onto something. Look at the color of this dirt. It's almost red. And those trees over there, those look like eucalyptus trees. Yes, if I'm correct, I believe we're in Australia.
I I've always wanted to travel to Australia. Did you know that more than 80% of Australia's animals can only be found right here in Australia? They don't live anywhere else in the world.
Sounds like you're gonna love this place, Anna.
Percy, is that you?
Of course. He never misses an adventure.
Uh-oh! What was that?
Oh, I'm just remembering. Sonny, you did say that you wanted to learn more about a battle in Australia, right?
Correct.
Well, it sounds like we may be in the middle of it. We should find somewhere to hide, don't you think?
Take cover behind those rocks over there. Move quickly.
Hi friends, are you enjoying today's episode? I'd like to take a quick break from the story to tell you about another great place to learn about the past. Honest History creates magazines and books for kids that are filled with fun stories and activities that bring history to life. From pirates to spies to great inventions and so much more, you'll learn about interesting people, places, and events from around the world that made history. Created for kids ages 6 through 12, you can sign up and receive new adventures delivered straight to your doorstep every quarter. Just visit honesthistory.co. That's honesthistory.co to sign up today. Oh, and here's a special offer for our podcast listeners. Use code UNLOCKTHIS for 10% off. Again, that special code is UNLOCKTHIS. Okay, let's get back to the story.
Don't worry, we'll be safe behind this rock. I'll protect us from any danger.
Danger? I don't like the sound of that.
Hey, look! Do you see that in the distance?
Where?
By the tree. It kind of looks like a giant bird. And it's running really fast. What is that?
It's an emu! Did you know that they are the second largest bird in the world?
Yes, huge flocks of emus live out there in Western Australia. And in 1932, they were involved in one of the strangest battles in history.
The emus were fighting? Who?
Soldiers, of course.
Wait, really?
Yes, sir. Do you see the land all around us?
There's not much here, but I see a lot of plants growing near us.
That's wheat. This part of Australia is known as the Wheat Belt. After World War I, there were a lot of soldiers coming home from battle. They needed somewhere to live and work. The Australian government decided to give them land out here. It wanted the soldiers to plant crops and farm on this land, and the government encouraged them to farm wheat.
Wait, so this land was just empty before the farmers came?
No, many animals lived here, like dingoes and rabbits. But this land was also the home of many indigenous peoples.
Percy says this is the land of the Noongar and Grubron people. They have been caretakers of this area for centuries.
That doesn't seem fair that the government just gave all the land to other people.
And the Noongar and Gubron people understand the land better than anyone else. Their knowledge is very important.
So what happened when the farmers started planting wheat?
They had a hard time out here. The soil wasn't very good, and the weather was unpredictable. They struggled to grow wheat and make money. And then the emus arrived.
What was so bad about that?
Well, you definitely don't want to make an emu angry. They're nearly 6 feet tall, and they can weigh up to 140 pounds. They can't fly because their wings are too small, but they have these giant talons and powerful legs. They can run 30 miles per hour.
The emus only passed through this area as they migrated. But when crops started to grow, the land became a lot more interesting to them. They would arrive in huge flocks, trampling all over the wheat and eating it.
The farmers probably didn't like that. Did they try to get rid of the emus?
At first, they couldn't do anything. Emus were a protected species, which means people couldn't hurt them.
I think that was because certain types of emus had become extinct after the Europeans arrived.
That's right. When Europeans first invaded Australia, they began hunting emus and destroying their habitats. The birds became endangered. To make sure they didn't disappear forever, emus were declared a protected species.
But if the farmers weren't allowed to hurt the emus, how was there a battle?
Because the rules changed. In 1922, the emus were no longer a protected species. They were classed as vermin.
What does that mean?
Vermin are animals that cause problems for humans. Sometimes animals like mice and rats are classed as vermin because they can spread disease.
No, of course he didn't mean you, Percy.
In the case of emus, they caused problems because they destroyed crops.
So, emus were classified as vermin and people were allowed to hunt them again?
Yes, sir.
Oh no, the poor emus.
Don't worry. The emus were wise warriors. They were not going down without a fight.
What happened?
First, the farmers went to the Australian government and pleaded with them to help.
We need protection from the great invasion of emus.
They wanted the army to do something about the emu problem, but they would leave the land and stop growing wheat. So on November 2nd, 1932, the army finally arrived.
Anna, look at all the emus over there. There's over 1,000 of them. Oh, do you see the soldiers? They're trying to fight them off.
We must be in the middle of one of the battles. For weeks, the soldiers tried to fight the emus and chase them away from the land, but they forgot a very important part of warfare.
What's that?
To win, you must know your enemy. Let's just say the soldiers didn't know the emus at all, and the emus got very good at figuring out the soldiers. Using their long necks, the emus could see the men coming. They would break off into tiny groups and run away without a scratch.
Go emus!
The bird's secret weapon was confusing their enemy. Many people believed that emus weren't very smart and would be easy to catch, but the emus took the soldiers by surprise. They were far more clever than the army expected.
It's almost like the emus are improving their understanding of warfare.
The emus were also very tough. It took 10 shots to take down just one emu.
My gun is jammed. Did we hit many of them?
Nah, mate. I think most of them got away.
Day after day, the army battled the birds with no victory in sight. The army would change its strategy. They would try to get closer, or they would shoot from every direction, and each time, the emus would adapt and escape. Soldiers noticed that the emus created their own methods to outsmart the army. Each flock even had its own leader.
One bird keeps watch while his mates carry out their work of destruction and warns them of our approach.
Some soldiers said the emus were nearly as tough as tanks. Machine guns had a hard time taking them down. Guns jammed up, trucks broke, and the emus continued to destroy the wheat.
The emus weren't giving up.
No, sir. And after 38 days of battle, the army finally admitted defeat. They called off the war.
The emus won!
They won that battle. The farmers were given guns afterwards, and they were eventually able to keep the birds away from the wheat. But one thing's for sure, the army greatly underestimated the emus. The newspapers covered the entire event, and they called it the Emu War.
That is a crazy story.
I can't believe the Australian army had a war with emus.
And there won't be another Emu War anytime soon. Emus are a protected species in Australia again.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. Emus are one of my favorite animals. After mice, obviously.
Hey, guys. It's getting kind of dark. Do you think we'll be able to head back home soon?
I hope so. I guess we haven't really figured out how to travel back yet.
So we're stuck here?
Percy, do you know how to get home? He's telling me to look at the ground, but I don't see anything, just some rocks. Oh wait, I see something. It's an emu feather.
It looks similar to the one we found in the vault. Oh, my head feels strange again.
Do you feel dizzy too?
I think we're traveling again. We're back in the museum.
Home, sweet home.
That was amazing! I can't believe I was able to see the Emu War. Have you told our other friends about this?
I did. Don't worry. They all want to go on an adventure too.
Yes, but can I make a special request? No wars next time.
Yes. The wise warrior avoids the battle.
After today's adventure, one thing is for sure. I'd avoid a battle with an emu.
Welcome back. That sure was a great adventure. I don't know about you, but I'm gonna tell all my friends about this amazing story. That's all for now. But if you want to learn more, be sure to check out my favorite magazine for kids, Honest History. There's a ton of stuff to learn in each issue, and I love the fun activities and questions. Bye! This episode was narrated by Nikki Bon and JoAnn Schinderle and written by Heidi Coburn. The production was read by Robot Pirate Media. To learn more about Honest History, visit us at honesthistory.co and follow for updates on social media.